Welcome back to the channel. And in this video, I want to talk about how to build a bigger brand for your drone business and what are those specific marketing materials that you need to have in place to make sure that you're attracting the right clients in 2025. A question that I'm always getting asked is, how do I get more clients? How do I put myself out there? How do I get people to trust what I'm doing? And it really comes down to your branding. It comes down to how you're doing your marketing and the specific marketing materials that you need to have in place to really impress these clients. What I wanted to do today is to look at a few case studies, some clients that we've been working with, what exactly we're doing to help them build a better brand and those specific marketing materials that you need to have in place to really impress and wow your clients. So just going to jump right into the screen. The first thing I really wanted to talk about was a client named Chris Wassam. He's from Aerial Ops Drone Services. They're a drone service provider based in Southwest Missouri. And as you can see, when we first started working with Chris, his logo really wasn't up to that professional standard. I talk a lot about my disdain for drone logos and really because, not only does it make it look very kind of basic, but can also make it look very busy and like too busy as well. I feel like if you use a drone logo, it's really too literal and it's not really a way to build like a brand around your business. So what we did was we took Chris's logo and we basically upgraded it, based on the aerial drone ops, the A and aerial, really just to give him like a very strong logo. And Chris is more into construction. He's more into like quarries and mapping and surveying and inspection. So he really needed something that was strong and that could stick out, to his clients. If you're going to try to close high value clients with just like a really basic logo, it's really not going to show that, professionalism, and it's really going to actually turn some people off. So it's important for you to like look at your logo and say, hey, is this a professional logo? Is this something that even impresses you, right? And I know how it is a lot of times in the beginning, you're bootstrapping, you're probably going to Canva or some other resource to just kind of put something together. But you do need to invest in creating a brand. And you're only going to be able to get by so far with having just kind of a basic logo. So this is the first thing that we did for Chris. Next, what we did was we created a list of branding materials for him, and we also helped him upgrade his website as well. So we're going to look at all these in a bit more detail. But I did just want you to get a look at, these are the type of things that go into creating a cohesive and a strong brand. So not only did we do his logo, but of course we upgraded his website. We helped with the company profile and a pitch deck. A pitch deck, of course, this is something that you can use, in your meetings, as you are presenting yourself and pitching your services. This could either be virtual or in person as well. We also created a lead magnet for him. A lead magnet is really important. Not only, of course, does it live up to its exact name, is for you getting leads, but it helps you educate your audience. It helps you with just some extra piece of marketing material that you can send out to your clients as well. We also did business cards. We created some social media templates and then gave him a one-pager that he can use kind of on the go, on the fly, to give out to his client wherever he is. Some other apparel and swag that he can use along the way. I wanted to just kind of break this down a little bit more and actually first just look at his website and then go into his marketing materials as well. This is the website that the team and I worked on for him. And as you can see in the very beginning, there's a very strong value proposition statement, right? So the biggest mistake I see a lot of drone business websites make is they're not really calling out who their client is. They're not calling out the specific customer that you're trying to work with. Sometimes it says aerial photography services, or sometimes it doesn't say anything at all, right? But before someone even scrolls down the page, they need to know exactly who you are, who you work with, and so forth. So you can see here, precision drone solutions for construction, public works, and quarry projects in Southwest Missouri. So there's no ambiguity here, right? People know exactly what he does and the type of projects that he works on. We always make sure everything is properly branded. The colors match exactly what we were doing, in his brand as well. In this hero section, we also have a subtitle, and then we also have a call to action, right? So this is like really the standard for any professional services website, right? You want to make it very clear. You want to have that call to action there as well. If we scroll down a bit, you can see that we have his lead magnet. So This is really like the perfect place to have a lead magnet because it encourages people to leave their email in exchange for that piece of value. And we can get into like the specifics of what a lead magnet should entail, but it really should be something that solves a specific problem or answers a question or really just gives that value for your potential client. So you can see here his lead magnet is called Precision at Your Fingertips, the essential ebook on drone mapping for quarries and construction, right? So if you're a site superintendent, something like this would actually pique your interest, right? You're probably going to want to know like how can I use drone mapping, for my projects, and it's really going to draw you in. So a lead magnet, an ebook, is not a company profile, right? It's not for you to just show off, hey, this is our wonderful work. It's really for you to specifically answer pain points that your target market has. So for the table of contents, we have the basics of drone mapping and quarries and construction, key benefits of drone mapping for construction and quarry sites, how to implement drone mapping for maximum efficiency, actionable tips for effective drone mapping, real world examples and case studies, final takeaways, and then frequently asked questions for them to see as well. So if we scroll through this, you can see this is branded. This is professional, and it really gives out that information that it's going to impress your clients. A lot of times, drone business owners, they rely on just the website to get eyes and to get across information. But there's actually a statistic out there that says that people on average, they don't spend more than a minute at a time on your website, right? So there's no way that you can convince someone in that short amount of time that you are the person for the job. So that means that you need other pieces of marketing material to show, to nurture your clients, for them to know that you are the professional and you know that what you're doing. Having an ebook is a really, really great way to do this. And there really is no alternative to having really great information. So not only can you have this on your website, but you can now send out your ebook, your lead magnet, to clients before you meet with them. So let's say you were able to book a meeting, someone's interested in hearing more about your services. Before that meeting, you could send this ebook and say, hey, before we meet, check this out, read a little bit of our ebook just for some context. Again, you're giving that professionalism that you are the one for the job. And I can guarantee if you have this type of ebook, no one else in your immediate competition is probably going to have something like this. So if we scroll down a little bit more, we are now calling out the problem, right? So struggling with project delays, safety challenges, and high costs, right? So you're constantly like touching on those pain points, the things that your target audience is going. And this really goes back to the importance of having a specific target. If you are trying to target, let's say real estate, and you're trying to target, mining, and you're also trying to target, events, it's like you can't have really specific marketing language if you're trying to target everyone, right? So you do have to be very specific. And again, call out your target audience on your page as well. Then we move down to the services section. I typically recommend having 3 or 4 services, your main core services, listed out here. And then there's in the benefits section, why work with you? What are the benefits of working with you? A little bit about us, and this leads to his About Us page. Of course, we have an FAA certification here. And we also have a testimonial, which is great to also, build that trust and credibility as well. We also see here he has his portfolio listed, and then there's a bottom section here with a call to action that prompts people to schedule a consultation. So this really is a complete homepage. The only thing I would add here is a place for people to sign up for like his email newsletter. So since we're still working with Chris, we'll likely add that here to his page as well. But as you can see, the homepage, it should be clean. It should be information driven, and really, those services, those benefits, everything should be right there. So when it comes to the other pages that you should have, services, of course, you want to keep these, of course, simple. But you want to make sure that you are listing, your core services for people to see what you're offering. Portfolio page is very, very important as well. Instead of just, listing photos or just listing videos without saying anything, which is what most drone service providers do, you want to make sure that you are covering the core parts of what happened at that particular project, right? So there's usually three parts to this. It's what is the challenge that your client was facing before you came? What's the solution that you provided? And then what is the result, of the services that you provided? So you can see here, we have four different case studies. And again, this really just helps you relate to your target client. And we have bridge inspection, we have quarry mapping, precision mapping, and construction site progress. These all speak to a certain type of client rather than, talking to everyone. Next up, blog content is very, very important. Not only is it going to allow you to be found locally, but it also just, again, boosts that professionalism. When people come to your page, they see that you have updated blog posts. And I typically recommend updating this once a month at the very least. If you can do 2 or 3 times a month, even better. But you do want to make sure that you are creating content, articles that really speak to your audience. And I'll do a video on this, on how to create blog posts for your company. This is a great way to give out that information as well. You can even see here from the titles, from pit to profit, how drones are revolutionizing quarries in 2025. And then there's another article, the top 5 ways construction companies will be using drones in 2025. There's not a whole lot of supervisors, construction site supervisors, who wouldn't want to read a resource like this, right? So you're just giving them more and more nurturing resources for them to feel comfortable that you are the professional one. Now, we've seen a portfolio, we've seen the blog. Of course, we have the About Us page that tells Chris's story and who he is, but you can see how having these critical pieces of content really helps sell your case, right? Most websites do not have a lot of these things on there, right? So it's not just enough to just have the photos and just kind of keep things moving, right? You really have to think deliberately about how is this speaking to my target audience, and making sure that target audience is actually one person and not multiple niches that you're trying to work with. So we took some time to look at Chris's website. We also saw his lead magnet as well. A couple of other things that I can just show you that we worked on for him. Pitch deck. So pitch deck is really important because when you are presenting yourself to clients, you have to meet with them, right? They have to understand your services and what you do. You have to get the scope from them. And just going into a meeting blind is not the way to do this, right? You want to be professional. You want to have your presentation in order. I recommend doing a 5 to 7 minute presentation for your clients that really introduces them to your company and to your solutions and what you do. So we have a cover page here. We talk about the problems. We call them out, very early in the pitch. What is it that aerial ops, helps with? It's the slow and costly inspections. It's the lack of real-time data. Safety, which is a big thing, when selling your drone services, and then also having compliance risk. These are the things that the problems that you're calling out very, very early. And then of course you go into the solutions. This is what we're providing to help tackle those problems. So real-time progress tracking, safety first, detailed mapping, data that works, for you, getting down to the key benefits, saving time, boosting safety, cutting costs, staying ahead. Some case studies here, right? So success stories that really, speak for themselves. So people can see how it works, how you have worked with other companies as well. Other solutions listed here. We have different packages. So you can let them know, hey, at our low package, this is what we offer. At our premium package, this is what we offer. You do want to keep it flexible as well, right? Because different clients are going to have different needs. So you don't want to box yourself in too much, but just so they know how you typically work with clients, it's a great way for them to see that as well. So you can decide what other information you want to put here. Of course, Chris also puts his certifications from Drone U and also from the FAA as well. It gives a step-by-step. So this is how we work with you, reach out, we do a site assessment, and then we get you the results, right? So keep it simple. You don't have to, spell out a 7 or 8 step process. And then of course, a contact page here. Typically what I recommend, again, is giving this brief presentation 5 to 7 minutes max. And this could either be during a virtual meeting or during an in-person meeting. If you're doing virtual, you could just share your screen and then people can see everything there. And then if you're doing it in person, you can also present it live. If they have a projector, you can bring your own projector, but just be able to present, or you could just display it on your laptop. I've done that plenty of times where I just turn it on the laptop and just, press go on the presentation. So you do have flexibility there. And then what you can also do is remember the lead magnet that we sent out beforehand. we were able to send that to them to say, hey, before the meeting, check this out, right? You might want to read this to understand more about what we do. Now, after the meeting, you can actually follow up and send this pitch deck to them, right? So now you're giving them extra pieces of content. You're giving them extra nurturing material that's going to really, really drive home that you're the professional in this. Most drone business owners don't do this, right? They just kind of rely on their great footage or some random photos on a website to do the job. But having these type of marketing materials means everything, and it really is going to separate you from your competition. And when it comes to high value clients, this is what's required, right? You have to come correct. You have to have your branding and things in place. So a lot of these things are really, non-negotiable. Another thing that we did, for Chris here is we created some brand guidelines. What is this brand guideline? What is it for? This is more of like an internal document. This isn't something that you need to send out to folks, but this is used to really help you stay in bounds when it comes to the content that you produce, the marketing materials that you create. We always talk about how to use your logo and proper logo usage. We talk about how not to use your logo as well. Your brand marquee, right? This is like literally just a symbol, without the words. And then we have the color palettes, right? So you need to know exactly, hey, what are the colors that are for my specific brand? And this brand guide is going to help you spell all that out. We also spell out the typography. So what are the different fonts, right, that you're going to use? You're not going to use Times New Roman is very old, but you're not going to use Times New Roman and then Poppins one time and then Saria, Saria one time. Like, you're going to have to stay very consistent and uniform with your brand, and you can't be jumping around using different colors, using different fonts. So this document really is to solidify what your brand is, how it should be displayed, and it makes you stay in line, right? So you're not going out of bounds when it comes to that. So even getting down to tone of voice and communication, what is your brand saying, right? So it's professional, it's empathetic. We understand the challenges that our clients face. Approachable, reliable and trustworthy, knowledgeable. So these are the brand tones, like how you want people to understand your professionalism. We also talk about the different type of imagery, right, that you should be used. When you're thinking about, hey, what do I put on social media? This really keeps you in line as well, right? So you're not going to be posting pictures of residential real estate, right? You see here clearly that this is more construction, more industrial type of projects. We also have social media templates as well. So again, everything is in line, everything is color coded, everything is uniform when it comes to the fonts that you use for that. We even put here some like stationary merchandise, some apparel that you can send out to get printed as well. Some other swag that you can give out at some point. Safety vests, of course, is very important to have customized safety vests. And then also, if you are going to produce more print materials, this kind of helps you stay in line to say, hey, this is what it should look like, and this is the general strategy that you should use. So that is a brand guideline. And again, it really is used to just, keep you in line with what you're doing. Just to kind of show you just a few other things that we worked on. These are the social media templates. So you saw this, in the brand guide. But again, this makes it easy for you to reproduce, content on social media, to share it on Instagram, on LinkedIn as well. And then we also have one pages that we created. And one page is really just to give out quick information, on the go. Maybe you're at a meeting in person and you just need to give someone a flyer, and just to kind of prime them a bit for more value that you're going to be sending them. If you have someone that you met at an event, you give them a business card, you give them a one pager, and then you follow up, a few days later with your lead magnet. And then during the presentation, they're going to your website and seeing that everything is nice and branded there. So this is the key to professionalism. This is the key, to building your business. And unfortunately, this is where a lot of businesses miss the mark. So what I've been doing over the past 2 years plus is, specifically working with drone businesses who want to improve their branding, improve their marketing, and really understand, why aren't they getting clients, right? And I can guarantee more times than not, it's because you don't have proper branding in place. and folks are really not able to see the value that you're able to provide. This is the key, to branding your drone business in 2025. I'm going to do more breakdowns, to explain how this is all done. But if you want help with this, this is what we do here at Global Air U. We help you build your brand. We help you create these marketing materials. I have an in-house team of graphic designers, of website developers, of social media managers that can really help bring all this to life for you. So really, you don't have to, worry about doing this all by yourself. The other mistake that I see a lot of people make is that they'll go to Fiverr, they'll go to Upwork, and they'll try to hire these like freelancers that have no idea about the drone business. When they get the materials back, the messaging is really just off, right? They're not hitting the mark. They don't know the industry. They don't know the problems that clients typically look for and face. You're going to end up wasting money, right? Going to those type of folks. We can help you with this. So I'm going to leave a link in the description if you want to book a call with us and see how we can help improve your brand and really just help you take the next step going into the next year in 2025. So if you have any questions about the process or really about growing your drone business in general, I have more videos on this channel about different strategy and different actionable advice that you can take and use to grow your drone business. So look forward to talking to you, and I'll see you in the next video.